make happen with a $500 super chat was to pay LTG for using that 1-second clip of his voice in a video, in a live stream. I think he was like, okay, I don't want this to become bigger than what it seems. I don't want to be seen as ripping off a smaller YouTuber. Let me give him this huge $500 super chat. We're good. Well, talking in chat and making it look like they were friendly with LTG. Yeah, he gave $500. And I can probably understand. Maybe he didn't know what LTG was. Maybe he saw another black man. He's like, hey, I want to support him. Bros. Fine. But he didn't realize who was supporting him until other people got in his ear. Okay, so I reacted to it. Dude, he was so thirsty for KSI. KSI, please put me in your next boxing match. Come on, KSI, I can do something. But KSI just that's all. But in my opinion, I think that's Corey. Like, hey, let me give you a big super chat. We're even. And I won't lose your clip. Here's $500. And so that caused LTG to go on a rant. And I gotta go back to his channel. Wait, where is it? Oh, I think the Capital Raceland also covered it. And if I go back to Low Tier God. So he did this right here. He did this video, and I listened to it, but we're not going to listen to it today. So Low Tier God did at Corey Kitchen. So Corey Kitchen got a notification that this video was about him. And he says, hey, he goes through the whole video where he's like, I'm disappointed in Corey. I'm disappointed. He says, I didn't know about the past. Because he goes through the comments like I just did. If I skip ahead, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here he goes. So he talks about the comment, and he starts dissecting it. Because this hurt him. I don't care what LTG said, this hurt him. Corey, very prominent black streamers on YouTube, basically saying they don't want nothing to do with LTG. And other black streamers have come out and said the same thing recently. Just not these, but these are like top 2 very popular streamers who have come out. Corey already be taking year-long breaks now with YT drama, and now LTG, he about to disappear for 3 years. Meth Bear, I agree. I think this really hurt him. In this video, he sounds like he was close to tears at some point, because he kept saying, oh yeah, that was the video that has LTG sound in it, but I'm not going to play it. I think, because he's like, what do you mean my past? Because he keeps talking about the trolls, they took advantage of him, they clipped him, they stole his stuff. Sounds like DSP, sounds like Wings. But he keeps going, he says, what do you mean by past? What do you mean? You never reached out to me. What do you mean my past? And I'm like, honey, anyone can find out your past with a 1-minute YouTube search. All I have to type in is Low Tier God, and look what comes up. Low Tier God getting body. Low Tier God me. Low Tier God KYS, you know what that means. Low Tier God the scam. Low Tier God G-Tab. Yeah. Low Tier God Broly Legs. If you click on any of these, you're going to find out real quick about your past. So, of course, I think some people reached out to Corey, said, hey, Corey, you got a really good YouTube thing going here. I see you're talking to Low Tier God. You may want to not, because he said a lot of crazy things, and he continues to say it. And they probably showed him some of the videos, some of the greatest hits, and some of his recent stuff. And Corey probably said, oh, what the what? I didn't know all this. And now he's into I gotta fix it mode. Because he's already started this thing with YouTube, saying YouTube is racist. Now he's over here in this LTG's chat who's racist against black people. So you got this self-hating black man who's now saying racist stuff against black people. And you got Corey Kenshin, who's just said all this like, oh, YouTube might be racist, but you're over here in this racist man's chat. You gotta fix this real quick. So what do? You leave a comment. Say, I don't support this guy. Yes, I gave him money. That's before I knew all the stuff that I know about him. And that reply currently has 192 replies. It's going deep. I don't think he ever responded. I didn't really go that deep because it was, by the time I looked at it, it was already too many. It was already too many. It was like 50 plus when I first came upon it. The truth is, though, Corey didn't even have to comment all that. Devon, I think he was scared. I think he was looking after his own self, and he was just typing it out. Like, oh my goodness, let me just get it out there. Yeah, it's a mistake, and it was a bad look. I agree with Solar Bar. It was a bad look. And this hurt LTG. And he made this video basically saying, I'm disappointed in you, Corey. I thought you were different. It disappointed me if he said, I thought you were weird because you use your head and you're not emotional. And Military God's all emotional in this video. He's really upset. Yeah, Gideon, yeah, Kai. Because that's a good sound. So that was the Corey Kitchen video. Military God then goes after Gideon, and so this is his because Gideon went in hard. Gideon calls out Twitch, and then heck, I don't even know where it was. But yeah, so Gideon was just really crapping on him. Love that. Let's go back to this. It's somewhere, but I saw the video. He's reacting to science videos. Oh, he's at the bottom of the barrel. He should just, like I said, just become Nick Avocado. Just like. But yeah, LTG hasn't had a good week. He's upset with various black YouTubers, and this is not going to help out his business. I understand why he's upset. He's an individual who's trying to get into the mainstream. And you see people like Corey Kenshin, heck, even Gideon, they're making moves. And he's trying to become big and successful too. And he probably thought, I finally got it in with these individuals. This is going to help my career. But when these individuals find out about who he really is, and they turn their back, yeah, I know that hurt him. I know that he probably saw all his expectations just disappear. And now he's wondering, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm still stuck streaming. He doesn't want to stream anymore. He wants to become an actor. Or he wants to make bigger moves on YouTube. And so, yeah. to have mainstream appeal. He has the chance years ago. You do have a point there, Magnus. I don't think he bothers going to castings. He's so scared. Like, you can't become an actor if you're not going to auditions. That's all they do. Hey, crazy cat game. That's all they do. They go to Hollywood or New York City. Work. You're not working. You're going to parties. You're going to events. Why? So you can network. So you can drink and have fun. No. Casting agents, so you can find actresses and actors who can help you get in a TV role or extra or something. Or you go to those parties and those networking events. So hopefully someone discovers you. It's hard. Listen to any actor and actors talk about it. The grind is real. You are constantly just trying to get your foot in the door. Doesn't matter if you're an animator, doesn't matter if you're an actress, doesn't matter if you want to be a PA or a film producer or whatever. You're out there trying. All day, every day. He's not supposed to be an actor, but he's getting to the point where if he's not getting any roles, you gotta call it a day at some point. Any student film role, he can't get like a commercial in China, a commercial in you can't even get a role to sell and to sell an object, sell a product in some other country. Like, dude. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many roles to be had out there. I've known a few people who have gone the actor route. I've worked with a few people who were voiceover artists or trying to be a voiceover artist, and they told me about their grind. They told me how it is. It's not a grind I would want to do, but I don't really think that LGG is pushing himself as hard as he could be. And he laments on his streams that he's not where he wants to be. I'm like, honey, are you putting something? He's like, hey, being a writer. And I'm like, well, no one reads my books, and I don't publish anything. Well, of course no one can read my books. I don't publish anything. I just tell people, oh yeah, I write stories. He'll literally do okay just getting like casted for a side role in a black comedy movie. I think he should go out there, like, really, LTG, if you want to get casted, go out to Atlanta, hit up Tyler Perry. And I'm not joking. Tyler Perry makes, he has a studio with Netflix, and he has his own studio lot. It's kind of the ghetto in Atlanta, but he has his own studio lot, and he has tons of TV shows. He'll find you a role. He gave Fousey a role. Remember Fousey too? He gave Fousey a role, and that's when Fousey was kind of not right in the head. Those are the days. Oh, Fousey even acted in one of his movies. I think it was Medea Goes to College or something. I don't know. It was one of those movies with Medea. Why not make his own short film to get started? Because seemingly odd, that takes work and money. I don't know if he's willing to put himself out there. I know he has his clothing company. That's fine. But if you want to be an actor, like you said, you gotta make your own movie, make your own YouTube series, do something. Go out to Atlanta, try to get into a Tyler Perry movie or TV show. Tyler Perry's always working in Atlanta. He's not willing to invest that kind of money in himself now. I agree with that too. How High 3? Y'all just bringing up old movies. Oh my goodness. I think those are all the locales I want to talk about. I've been keeping up with Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty. I know that Amberlynn Reid yelled at her audience, blaming them for her stopping her book. What was it? Her book reading group. Yeah, she hasn't uploaded a video in 4 days, which is very out of character for her. if I go to her channel real quick, yeah. She's sitting over 200,000 subscribers. So our girl Amberlyn Reed, as I start wrapping up the stream, she hasn't uploaded a video in 4 days. This is the last video I watched it, and she was basically saying, I'm done, and she was cussing the viewers out. I'm like, girl, fine, go ahead and be like that. Go ahead and be like that. Oh yeah, well actually, Sosuke, so it was funny because Foodie Beauty said, I'm sorry to hear about your cankle, and Amberlyn Reed got mad about that, and then Foodie Beauty was just like, well, I think cankle is a scientific term. I'm calling it like I see it. I mean, Foodie Beauty knows she's fat too. She calls her, she calls her fupa, she calls her gun. She knows she got stuff. So it was so funny to see them going back and forth about cankles. Did I get pizza? No, California problem. I ended up eating barbecue. I barbecued ribs and I barbecued some steak. My brother took some bacon out of the refrigerator, the freezer. I barbecued up some bacon and I put some potatoes in the grill too, so we had baked potatoes. It was tasty. Ribs are great, but ribs are expensive. Good lord. And I bought these on sale too. So Soul Barter, she right now with no updates, and she's become once again boring. I was paying attention to her because she was milking that ankle injury, but yeah, nah, she's born again. And then Beauty Beauty, I don't even know what's going on with her. That's all she's out to go get dresses, and then she's still talking about Later and Dee Dee, and her house is still full of mess. Like, girl, I haven't watched you in years. I come back to the same nasty place. You haven't cleaned up. Ugh. Beauty Beauty's disgusting. Okay, let me catch up with the chats. Britt, you calling LTG honey is too sweet. You know, a laugh with a big ego would never accept being called honey. She made a diabetes joke in reference to Chantal. She defended the joke. Chantal made a joke about Arrow's cankle, and she gets offended. I'm telling you, I don't understand why she got mad with saying cankle, honey. You've seen your leg. It's beyond cankle. It's like a hot dog. One of those hot dog tubes that are like really big? That's what it is. Hey, Devil Man, what's going on? You get caught up on upload? Yeah, I'm gonna put timestamps. Oh, I think you meant to say robust. DSP did a crappy. Yeah, his Turtles marathon was so horrible yesterday. It was bad. But yeah, those are all the locales I want to talk about. Because I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Kiwi Farms being down. I guess I can end the stream talking about Kiwi Farms. So Kiwi Farms is down. If you go to Kiwi Farms, Cloudflare blocked it. Here it is. Right here, blocked. What happened? Due to an imminent and emergency threat to human life, the content of this site is blocked from being accessed through Cloudflare's infrastructure. For more details, go to this blog. And this is the blog post from the co-founder of Cloudflare. Cloudflare doesn't like to take down websites. They don't like to block them because they said it sets a bad precedent. Well, in this blog post, it doesn't really show Cloudflare in the best light. They're saying that they took this action because they had reported Kiwi Farms to the cops several times due to imminent threats, and the cops were taking too long to take action. So because of that, Cloudflare decided to take down the website. And I'm like this. Okay, let's look at threats. Let's look at the last mass shootings we had here in America. Remember the shooting on the subway train up in Brooklyn, New York? That guy was known to the FBI. They had investigated him. Guess what? They did nothing. Let's look at the shooting up in Buffalo, New York, by that teenager, that 18-year-old who had live streaming on Facebook and also His father, I believe, was ex-FBI. The kids knew him around school, and even the teachers, they voted him most likely to shoot up a school. The police also, the FBI, did nothing about him. So for you to say, for Cloudflare to say that the police were taking too long to investigate these threats, even if they investigated them, they probably would have took no action, because they took no action in these other cases, and those are just a few. Those are just a few. So, let's say the police did investigate the threats from Kiwi Farms, Cloudflare, and they saw nothing amiss. They saw that there was no basis. Would you apologize to Kiwi Farms for taking down their website? No, you wouldn't. I think, in my opinion, Cloudflare just doesn't want to deal with Kiwi Farms anymore. Even the co-owner, the co-founder says Kiwi Farms itself will most likely find other infrastructure that allows them to come back online. And you have to throw it as the Daily Stormer and HG themselves after we deal with them. Why do you have to throw the Daily Stormer and HG? I don't know. This whole blog post, it just seems like they're trying to cover themselves, and they're trying to placate the mob that's after them, and they're just trying. Not only has Twitch, Facebook Live has shown so many crimes in action. And how come Facebook doesn't get in trouble? But Kiwi Farms does. Kiwi Farms doesn't really those type of videos. They archive stuff, yes, but nobody goes to Kiwi Farms to let me show off this vast event I'm about to do. No. They go on Twitch, Facebook Live. Twitter has even had their issues. Twitter has had an issue with showing kiddie adult material over the years, and they have moved very slowly to remove it. So yeah, it was all a ploy to get Kiwi Farms taken down, because the individuals who are mad at the site are mad not because they're being threatened. That happens. That's the internet. Threats happen. But they're mad because all the bad stuff they've done over the years has been collected and put in one location. So if someone goes and searches their name, that Kiwi Farms thread pops up. And guess what? People can read all the bad stuff you did over the years and be disgusted, like, rightfully. So you want it taken down, but you can't get it taken down because Joshua Loom doesn't care. He's like, this is public information. It's not like they got private information you hid. No, this is all public. These are tweets you made, these are posts you made, these are videos you made, but you were okay with it back then because no one was collecting it and putting it into one big thread. Now people did, and now you want to cry, and now you want to go and say, oh, they're trying to attack me. If I'm saying, oh my goodness, I'm scared of my life, people are trying to come and hurt me, I'm in imminent danger, I would not be live streaming every day or every other day. I wouldn't. Socrates says a lot of streamers, e-celebs, will have their fan base go after any controversy on sites like Reddit or Facebook. They want everything controlled. Yes. Socrates, you're absolutely correct. The new web that they want the new web to be sanitized. They want it to be like TV, where you can't say certain things because it's going to go against censors. They want it to be sanitized. They don't want anything that shows them in a bad light, no matter how often they've done it or when they've done it. They don't want it happening. But guess what? The internet is forever. You will not get it removed off the internet, no matter how hard you try. Remember, hard drives are inexpensive. NAND technology, I think the NAND prices for SSDs are about to go down, so SSDs are going to get cheaper. People don't mind paying pennies per day to save those videos, those pictures. That's why I say, be very careful what you put online, because it's not going to be erased. Not. Yeah, Bacon's right. Info's like pee on the internet. No, info's like pee in a pool. Once it's out, once it's there, it's there. It's there. Crazy things that you can't see on the internet. Yeah, and so many people are for this. They are for these sites being taken down. They're for people being silent because, oh, well, it benefits me. So I'm happy about that. But once those people get taken advantage of, they get hit too by this, then they're going to cry and they're going to, go online and ask for help. And there'll be no one to help them because all the other people who would have, they're banned too. They're silenced too. So be happy with the internet you're making. I'm not, but again, I'm just one individual saying, hey, I see where we're going. It's not a good place. They keep trying to get rid of libs and TikTok. And all they're doing is bringing more information, more eyes to that account. Like, okay, like I was telling my mom about all the stuff that's happening at Kiwi Farm. Boomer mom, even though she's a boomer, she understands a lot of things. So she said this. She said, well, it sounds like these people are upset that people are saying bad things about them. They should just grow a thicker skin. They should, not saying things that happen to women all the time. But yeah. Oh, you didn't know about Lips TikTok until they started crying? Yeah. So I agree with my mom. They're just mad because people said bad things about on the internet and they don't like it and they want to stop.
Don't know why I started off with one health. That is weird. There we go.
Okay, peeps, that's all I have for today. Any last things before I start wrapping up the stream so I can go ahead and put these timestamps on here? If not, if you think of anything else afterwards, please leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you. I've been reading my comments. I just haven't responded. Really, I've been lazy about YouTube lately. There's no other way for me to put it. But thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. They're gonna go after Destiny. They already took Destiny off of Twitch. What? Go after him on YouTube?
Bruh.
Yeah, y'all have a great evening.
This jewel is always shitty. If anything, I can always expect it to be fucking shit. So thanks for being reliable with that.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll put out some videos this week of various things. And thank you again for coming. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the likes and the shares. All that great stuff. It does really help me out, and I enjoy talking to y'all. You guys and gals are great viewers. I'll give you that. Yes, you too, seemingly odd. And happy Labor Day. Yes, Labor Day for America and Canada tomorrow. So, make your country celebrate.
Whatever. Fuck that guy.
But I'm going to, but I'm also going to relax a little bit. And so, I'm actually going to do that now. Get some water and relax because I lifted too much. And I hadn't lifted in a while, and so I will see y'all later. Bye.
So I climbed into the cab and then I settled down inside. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Where is the horse and the rider? Where is the horn that was blowing? They have passed like rain on the mountains.
Female dwarf.
Like wind in the meadow.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted to try to find the negative one.
The days have come. Behind the hills. Into shadow.
it begins. It's official, Amazon has fucked up Lord of the Rings, which is a bit of a problem because according to Media Insider, Amazon Insider says its 1 billion Lord of the Rings series will determine the company's streaming fate. Uh-oh, if it's not the highest performing thing Amazon has ever done, it's a failure, an insider said. Well, after 4 years, $250 million to initially get the rights, and spending ultimately so far $1 billion, including $465 million on the first season, which is $58 million an episode to you and me. All the red flags, including hiring inexperienced ex-employees from Bad Reboot to run your show, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Ex-Bad Reboot employee and current Rings of Power producer Lindsay, The Lord of the Rings needs to reflect the world of today, and Tolkien fans are racist Weber. The giant red flag of production suspiciously ramping up after the death of the late great Christopher Tolkien, firing and humiliating Tom Shippey, and then later invoking his name at San Diego Comic-Con. Shame. The casting announcements, the shills, the superfans, the Access Media attacking fans, Amazon attacking fans, the producer attacking fans, adult pretenders from the show attacking fans, the worst marketing campaign of all time, all this leading to an unstoppable fan revolt, the likes which we have never seen. Mass comment sections on YouTube. It's going to go down in internet lore. So now that the first 2 episodes have arrived, we've got some good news, we've got some bad news. We'll start with the bad news for Amazon. You have a giant global disaster on your hands. The good news, the memes. I was initially excited when Amazon took on Lord of the Rings many years ago, and that excitement has faded, especially since I found out what happened in the episodes, but I needed to see it play out, and I have. And it's garbage. Before I get into spoilers, calling it CW is not an over-exaggeration. It is some of the worst writing, it is some of the worst acting I have seen since Star Trek Discovery. What there is of the source material in the first 2 episodes is either massively retconned, subverted, or perverted. A large portion of the focus of the show is on made-up, repurposed characters like female Sam, female Frodo, Gandalf not Gandalf, and Dawn Lemonlass. What isn't completely atrocious is just bland and boring, and I felt trapped in the movie theater watching this. And this was as predictable as a bad Access Media tip. This is intersexual, badly disciple, intersectional Tolkien. Hell, you could just lift all the Tolkien lore and it would be a generic fantasy show, and it would still be bad. There's also the major problem having the worst character in the show being your main character, Galadriel the Barbarian. How's this for a bit of irony? Badass of empowerment needed therapy to play the role, and we're all going to need therapy after this is all done. Answer the folks that said, well, at least it looked good. I don't know if it looked $60 million an episode good, but I'll give you this. If Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, was a picture book without any words, because the words are wholly unnecessary in this show, I would argue that, yes, 1 or 2 of the pictures looks good. We start out with a prologue, once again voiced over by Galadriel, except this time it's Wilford Clark using some reworked language from Elrond in Lord of the Rings, and it's very familiar to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. And this giant cinematic prologue we were all promised ended up being a massive disappointment, like the show. Sure, we saw a few seconds of a dragon killing an eagle, a few seconds of battle, and the rest of it is Galadriel getting bullied and her talking to her brother, Finrod. And yes, it is indeed Finrod who ends up dying by werewolf. And that's right, at the very beginning of this episode, Galadriel gets, and after some pretty flat dialogue, which sounded a little bit like what?
The ship has a secret. But unlike the stone, her gaze is not down at her, fixed upon the light that guides her.
Okay, am I the only one who finds these sayings just a little bit formulaic?
Don't mention the kinslaying, the burning of the ships, the Noldor rebellion, the exile of the Noldor, crossing the Ice Fangs. Nothing. What we thought was the Hellcarax ended up being something completely different because Galadriel is on a mission of vengeance. Stating the obvious, this was never in the lore. It was completely made up for this giant corporation, and it's nowhere near the spirit of Tolkien. I King Gil-galad has sent Galadriel the Girlbarian and her company on a mission to search out any remnants of the War of Wrath, any orcs, possibly Sauron, and they have been on this mission for centuries. Now, how much time has passed since the first age into the second age? No idea. Quick reminder, the second age of Middle-earth is over 3,500 years, and Amazon, in their infinite wisdom, has decided to condense all of the events in that time into a shorter time period. A couple of weeks, a month, 5 years, who knows? Girl boss Galadriel's male assistant Thorndeer is yet another made-up character who's always telling Galadriel they need to go home, but she's not going to stop until she has a mountain of orchids. They established pretty early that Galadriel has a singular focus. She is a cold, calculating leader. She can punch through ice, decipher clues, slay cave trolls by herself.
That she's the worst casting choice of the show and drags the entire thing down. She makes Galadriel both an elven Mary Sue and an elven Karen who would like to speak to the manager. I can't believe it!
Why, Grace, I'm liking the cut of your jib.
However, interestingly, and tragically, there are no LGBT characters in all of the Lord of the Rings because J.R.R. Tolkien was a devout Roman Catholic. And I think that, whether J.R.R. Tolkien likes it or not, I think that's become a clear element of the elves in particular in this world.
Oh, never mind. Then there's the dialogue.
This place is so evil, the torches go off. This way.
How can you be certain?
It's colder than the rest.
After Galadriel slays the cave troll all by herself because the men were fighting like morons, she wants to go further north and they all quit on her. Because that's what men do, so they laid down their swords, no symbolism there, and Galadriel don't need no man, she goes on without him. Oh look, it's more original characters. Harfoots, which are actually hobbits, but Amazon can't use that term, so we're just going to call them Harfoots. And we have a couple of repurposed characters, female Frodo, female Sam, and Hobo Baggins. Now, one of the signs that we're going to be in for some pretty god-awful writing in the next 5 seasons is characters constantly describing what we can clearly see on screen, constantly describing exactly how they feel, and a lot of very convenient things happening, which happens a lot in this show. Not much to talk about with these Harfoot scenes in the entire first or second episode. They're filled with exposition, with the occasional cringe dialogue, stage Irish.
If we didn't do everything we weren't supposed to do, we'd hardly do anything at all.
Hey, look at her. I know that down by the riverbank, did you?
I wonder if there's trouble down south. And what concern is that of yours, Eleanor Brandyfoot?
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
To reach the decision maker, you'll need the prospecting tool. Introducing Lucia.
There was a wolf that had the Harfoots dead to rights, but I guess he already had 11sies, and we're definitely dealing with female Frodo and female Sam.
They come across, though, as a female version of Sam and Frodo. And I think that's fantastic.
Oh! Yeah! Dude! What the fuck?
And the show finally gets around to introducing us to Doogie Elrond, and hey, maybe we'll learn something about his character. Oh, never mind, this scene's about Galadriel. First, Elrond is told he can't go to an Elf Lord's meeting because Elf Lords only, and it's probably because he's half-elven.
Your friend has arrived.
She's here.
She just did. So what does Doogie Elrond tell us about Our Lady of Light, Our Lady of the Woods of Lothlorien?
Look at you now. Commander of the Northern Armies.
Oh, but it doesn't end there.
I half expected you to arrive caked in grime and mud.
This time frostbite. Troll blood.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. This is a character vandalization on the level of Luke Skywalker and the Doctor from Doctor Who. It is everything we thought she would be, except worse. Galadriel, the girl Barry, who's on a hunt for vengeance, searching for Sauron, and she immediately wants to see the manager.
I want to hear about you. Your harrowing journey.
Why, Elrond, you really haven't been a politician.
That sounds so good.
I demand to speak with the king directly.
Now, Doogie Elrond tells her that her men quit on her because she exceeded Manager Gil-galad's orders, and she demands to see the manager again. She even gets in his face. The guy that interacts with Galadriel, a duplicitous boyfriend, a duplicitous manager, or a duplicitous personal assistant, Doogie Elrond grants her request. Manager Gil-galad declares the days of war over, and we are now in the days of peace, and he grants a gift to Galadriel and all the men who quit on her. the elven equivalent of an Amazon unlimited gift card, a trip to Valinor. And like a true Karen, she refuses the gift card. This is followed by modern Hollywood's attempt to be Tolkienian. Galadriel describes what we can clearly see on screen.
Likeness one fallen presents upon a living thing.
Then there's this interaction.
It is over. The evil is gone.
Then why is it not gone from in here?
After all you have endured, it is only natural to feel conflicted.
Conflicted?
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Brie Larson has been dethroned.
Let's say that all is as you fear, and this enemy is out there somewhere, lying in wait. Do you truly believe seeking him out will satisfy you? That one more orc upon the point of your blade will bring you peace?
Apparently over at Amazon, $60 million an episode only gets you horrific writing, overacting, pedestrian, amateur CW. Galadriel is not a commander of the Northern Army, she's not a warrior of the wasteland, and she doesn't want to have orc heads on the point of her blade. She's a tortured, battle-hardened warrior with PTSD that we're supposed to feel sorry for. Now, they haven't shown us any of this, but they've certainly spent the entire episode telling us. There's no mystery here. We know Sauron is out there, and apparently so do a couple of other. It makes things worse, so we're just sitting around waiting for Galadriel to be right. Meanwhile, in the Southlands, it's Guess Who's Coming to Second Breakfast. And if those scenes in the trailer with Don Lemonless chained by the ankles weren't on the nose enough for you, we've got some more.
Where was he from?
Didn't say east, I think.
What day was he here?
Oh, let it go, knife is. It's a bloody patch of grass. The lot you lump us in with died off 1,000 years ago. When are you people gonna let the past go?
What do you mean, you people?
And after what I am sure was some very necessary exposition, mixed in with a message as subtle as a Joe Biden speech, we learn that this is a forbidden love story. You know how I know? I mean, aside from the Access Media telling us for the last 6 months and the longing looks between Bronwyn and Arondir in the scene prior, no, they actually tell us.
Only twice in known history has a pairing between elves and humans even been attempted, and on each occasion, it ended in tragedy. It ended in death.
Don Lemonless is part of an elven outpost of colonist oppressors, keeping an eye on the southern men who were sympathetic or allies to Morgoth centuries before. Bronwyn is a single mother because Hollywood doesn't have fathers anymore, to a son named Theo who has a little treasure, a broken sword with the Mark of Sauron on it. And let's get to that Mark of Sauron. Yes, the Mark of Sauron, not to be confused with the Eye of Sauron. The one we saw on Finrod in the fortress and now on this broken sword. It wouldn't be right here on this map, would it? Arondir hears about some poison grass, sees some gook come out of an udder of a cow and decides to investigate the next town, and Bronwyn's gonna go with them and just leave her kid behind. It's only a day's journey. After what I'm guessing is a day's journey, we get some more soap opera acting between our southern activist and Don Lemonless, definitely telling us they're in a forbidden romance just in case you didn't catch it the 3 times before. They arrive at the town and it's on fire. Meanwhile, back in Linden, we have a little conversation regional manager Gil-galad and Doogie Elrond. Turns out High King Gil-galad, well known for his duplicity, sent Galadriel away for her own good, and he is well aware of the darkness, and this is his justification.
She might have inadvertently kept alive the very evil she sought to defeat. For the same wind that seeks to blow out a fire may also cause its spread.
Your temper is very quick, my friend. But until you learn to master your rage
will become your master? That's what you were gonna say, right? Right?
Not necessarily.
Then we meet Grandma Brimbor. Then a comet flies over all of our characters, showing us that they're all in the same timeline. It also doesn't make us think at all of Game of Thrones Season 2. Female Frodo finds Gandalf not Gandalf. Now these scenes are intercut with Galadriel sailing to Valinor with all the men who quit on her. And the writers were so proud of this piece of dialogue from the beginning of the episode, they decided to recall it here.
Do you know why? I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
F. Clutha.
A ship floats, and a stone cannot. Do you know why? A ship floats, and a stone cannot.
I don't know, Amazon. Why does a dumpster fire burn and a toilet flush? High Regional Manager Gilgalad picks up a leaf with cancer and all these shit. Armored up on a boat, sailing to Valinor, and then they take off the armor and she jumps out of that boat because she can't give up her mission of vengeance to have a nice leisurely swim in the sundering seas a good 100, 200, 300 miles away from Middle-earth. Here on this map is roughly where Galadriel decided to take a nice leisurely swim, and keep in mind, Arda is supposed to be flat right now. So at this point, Galadriel doesn't have 3 brothers, she has 1. She doesn't have a husband, she wasn't exiled, she decided to leave on her own. Tolkien's lore at this point has been reduced to minor Easter eggs. We'll get back to Galadriel's strategy of jumping out of a boat and taking over. To acknowledge the title of the first, The Shadow of the Past. Second chapter of the Fellowship. Probably every Tolkien fan, along with real Tolkien scholar, you know, the one that Amazon fired, and Tolkien himself, because this is mystery box bullshit storytelling, we have a mystery, and we're meant to believe that I stand off Sauron or Theo, Bronwyn's son. After unfortunately watching each show a couple of times, I have to say, they managed to make the second one slower. The competition between the Hardwood scenes or the guest
Number 6.
scenes that will put you to sleep faster. Female Frodo and female Sam find Gandalf not Gandalf and manage to make him look more homeless. Oh, and how do I know he's Gandalf? The worm attacks again, and Halbrand, because he's Sauron, bails on the disposables, and after Galadriel gets pushed into the water, she bails on him too, and then Galadriel has the nerve to chew out Halbrand, for abandoning his friends. During some getting to know you, because they have a lot of time, because they are adrift on a raft, and that's the name of this episode, and quite frankly, I think they're taking the shipping a little bit too literally. Hashtag Salandriel. Galadriel says she chose not to go to Valinor and take a leisurely swim for duty's sake, when in the lore, she got over exile because she wanted to rule her own realm in Middle-earth. Halbrand, said he was on the run because his village was destroyed by orcs. Then a storm comes, Galadriel gets knocked off the raft, Halbrand saves her. Then they wake up, and lucky for them, wouldn't you know it, they randomly run across a Númenorian ship. Speaking of Númenorians, no Isildur or Elendil in the first 2 episodes. 2 major players in the Second Age and this show. And that's it for the first 2 episodes, and Amazon has created the first billion-dollar streaming disaster. Sure, some sweeping shots look nice, and some look decent, but the story was complete garbage. 2 episodes, and nothing really happened. Somebody almost makes a proposal, and some people arrive some places, and somebody finds someone. What from the box? You mean the mystery box? Mikro. Well, where's Sauron? You mean this guy? Sharks, abomination, it's a crime, and it's an ambition. Yet it's another corporation trying to buy their way into a fandom and a beloved mythology that they don't want to take the time to know or respect. And the worst crime of it all, aside from the forced intersexual feminist themes, was the repurposing of Professor Tolkien's language. A creative atrocity. The smart move would have been to take the 3 things they're going to cover in this show and make them individual series. And if the first one works, then you follow it up with the 2. You start with the Forging of the Rings of Power. Then you go to the both would have been very cool to see adapted properly. And then you end it with the War of the Last Alliance. No, we're going to squeeze it all into 5 seasons and not even cover any of those things in the first, so we can focus on uninteresting made-up characters by the showrunners and the writers and completely vandalize the actual Tolkien characters. And again, Galadriel is awful in the Rings of Power, and if anybody's hoping for any kind of character arc, it's not happening in season 1. And there's 6 episodes and 4 more seasons to go, and you might have seen the best of the lot. That's why it's not a surprise Amazon turned off reviews for the Rings of Power for 72 hours to avoid review bombing, because they know they have a poorly written, poorly acted, poorly executed, bad streaming show that's getting eviscerated now that people have actually seen it, because, as usual, the fans were right all along. Still, it will be spun that it's our fault somehow. Last time I checked, none of us produced, directed, wrote, or acted in any of these episodes, or hired ex-bad reboot employees. But we did make Tolkien's world worth lots of money, so go ahead, try to make it our fault. I wish I would have seen Star Wars, etc., but I guess that's about it. And show your quality, the very highest. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Nerverotic.com.
That's the fire! Destroy it!
Okay, you know what? I'm literally just going to leave this on the charger until it's green, and then I will experiment with anything that I have left. Because my Joule is literally the worst thing I'm dealing with right now.
Hi, it's me, international drag superstar Trixie Mattel, coming to you live from wherever we are. When I'm on tour, I find myself accessing the internet. Hello, besties. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Sebastian, and I welcome you guys with open arms. I do pop culture videos every single day, so if you're looking for the latest in reality TV, influencer tea, pop culture, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would be very, very grateful. I'm always keeping you guys with all the Brit tea that is happening. Girl, you're probably wondering, let's cut to the chase, okay? There's an elephant in the room. You're probably wondering, girl, what is going on with you? Bitch, I am the most hungover I've ever been in my life. It is 100 degrees in Los Angeles. I've been trying to do this video for 3 hours. I told you guys that I am your new messy best friend, and when I say it, I freaking mean it, okay? I don't know if another YouTuber would ever freaking do this, but I tried to get pretty. I tried, and I sat in front of that ring light, and I fucking passed out. I nearly passed out. I was like, girl, I can't. So, anyways, I said, I need to talk to my besties out here about this whole Kevin Federline interview, and I was like, I'm not going to let a hangover stop me, even though I feel like throwing up, but you know what, bitch, we're going to pull through. I think I'm also a little bit drunk still from last night, so wish me luck on this video. Okay, so listen, the interview came out, alright, 18 minutes on YouTube. Highlights of the interview for me was, the first thing he said was, no one can prepare you for the things I've been through. The fact that he said that, for me, it just like baffles me, because I'm like, the things you've been through, like, listen,
I would never want to diminish anybody's, truth or whatever, but I'm like, when I watch this interview, I feel in a way that, like, the fact that I think the thing that kind of pissed me off the most was that they even did it, right? But, like, it didn't say horrible things about Britney, because it didn't. But what was so horrible about it was that it was even done. Kevin, he says he wants to keep things private, but he's opening up about everything. He says that he felt like it was his place to help conservatorship. So, he says that his relationship with Britney was amazing, and that of course, everybody hated it, but he was able to take it. He talked about how, his priority was his children. Girl, I'm looking like Kevin Calloway with this kind of, like a thick version of Kevin Calloway. Almost out, bitch. Almost out. Anyways, he said that, everything was so rocky with Britney, and that one thing we already heard him say was that he was mortified by everything that happened to her, and he still feels sorry for her. So here's my whole thing, like, I feel like he's a walking contradiction, because he wants to keep things private, yet he does this stupid interview that nobody asked for. He says that he feels bad for her, yet he doesn't feel bad for exploiting her story for money. So which one is it? You know what I mean? Because, girl, this is getting very much like 2 plus 2 is 4 and 5 plus 5 is 10. What the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Because honestly, what was this?
Oh my god.
It shows him, you know what pissed me off? The part that really, really, really gets to me, bitch, is that he is in the house.
I hate Florida so much, dude.
Paid for, okay? Oof, I shouldn't have that, maybe. Bitch, I'm struggling. She paid for that, okay? And anyways, so then the interviewer asked, and they were like,
why can't I do it now?
What do you tell your children when they ask why mommy's in a conservatorship? And then he said,
God, I hate this fucking state so fucking much. It is actually horrible.
Like, honestly, you guys, like, what really gets to me is that she is the one who was
I literally can't see anything, and I do not know why.
Years. She is the one who had to suffer so much. She is the one who...
It won't my TV literally will not turn off. It is crazy over here.